What if the best way forward was actually not pushing forward at all, and the smartest move looked suspiciously like doing nothing while everything somehow still moved? Laozi loved questions like this because they feel upside down, like telling a river it should hurry less even though it keeps reaching the sea. He spoke of the Tao, or the way, as something everyone follows already, even while arguing about where to step next. Trying to explain the Tao feels like trying to point at air because the moment you grab too hard, it slips through your fingers. Kids understand this feeling when they try to explain why a joke is funny, only to notice it stops being funny once explained. Laozi suggested that the way works best when it is not forced, not shouted, and not bossed around. This idea sounds strange in a world that cheers for effort, trophies, and loud success. Imagine water flowing around rocks, not because it plans to win, but because moving gently is simply what water does. Laozi watched nature closely, noticing that trees grow without instructions and clouds drift without meetings. He wondered why humans try so hard to control what already knows how to move. Children sense this tension when they try too hard to fall asleep, only to stay awake longer. The Tao in Laozi's stories feels like a rhythm you join rather than a path you built. Yet this raises a puzzle, because if no one tries, how does anything ever change? Laozi did not mean laziness, although it can sound that way at first. He hinted that effort can sometimes block flow, like paddling against a current that wanted to help you anyway. Kids experience this when learning something new, when the answer appears only after they stop forcing it. The way seems to like patience, but it never promises comfort. Storms still happen, winters still arrive, and mistakes still unfold. Laozi noticed that fighting reality often adds an extra layer of pain. This does not mean you never act, but that action can arise from listening rather than pushing. Imagine joining a dance by feeling the music instead of counting every step. The Tao feels more like that music than a set of instructions taped to the wall. Yet another voice whispers that without rules, plans, and goals, everything would fall apart. Laozi heard this worrying too, but he wondered whether too many rules create chaos of their own. Kids notice this when a game has so many rules that no one remembers how to start. The Tao seems to prefer simplicity, even when life feels complicated. Laozi used soft words and quiet images, as if loud explanations might scare the truth away. He suggested that leaders who try less sometimes create more harmony. This feels confusing, because effort is usually praised and resting is often suspicious. The Tao flips that expectation and smiles gently. Following the way does not guarantee winning, popularity, or applause. It offers something stranger, a feeling of being in tune. Kids feel this when a day goes well for no clear reason. The way cannot be owned, measured, or locked inside definitions. The moment you say you fully understand it, it quietly steps aside. Laozi seemed amused by this, as if confusion was part of the lesson. Two people can follow the Tao in different ways and still not be wrong. This makes certainty wobble, which can feel uncomfortable but also freeing. The Tao invites curiosity rather than control. It asks whether striving is always wisdom or whether ease has its own intelligence. Kids may wonder how to know when to try harder and when to let go. Laozi does not answer directly and instead points back to the world itself. Rivers, plants, seasons, and breaths keep demonstrating the way without speeches. Watching them can feel like reading a book with no words. The Tao stays quiet, yet everything keeps responding to it. Perhaps that silence is part of its strength. Laozi leaves readers standing at a crossroads without signs. One path says push, plan, and control. The other path says listen, flow, and trust. The story ends without telling you which path is correct, inviting you to notice which one you are already walking.